Diana's marriage to Prince Charles looked perfect from the outside, but it was far from it. Growing up in a luxurious yet troubled home, she felt the sting of her parents' messy divorce at just 7 years old, which left her hiding her true feelings. With so many shocking details now coming to light, what secrets did Diana's son reveal about King Charles? Join us as we dive deeper into these startling revelations, even years after Princess Diana's tragic death. Living in the palace was not easy for Diana. She had to adapt to the strict royal rules and deal with constant attention from the British press. Every move she made was watched, and her weaknesses were turned into headlines. Despite these challenges, she used her position to highlight important issues like AIDS awareness and the fight against landmines, earning her the nickname the People's Princess. But her marriage continued to suffer. Both Diana and Charles were unfaithful, and their troubles became very public. Their separation was inevitable, and the world watched every moment. Even after her marriage ended, Diana remained a global icon, admired for her charm, compassion, and sense of style. She connected with ordinary people and cared deeply for those in need, winning the hearts of millions. However, tragedy struck in 1997 when Diana died in a car accident in Paris. The crash happened while paparazzi were chasing her, and instead of helping, some photographers took pictures of her final moments. This caused worldwide outrage and made people think about the harsh reality of media intrusion in her life. Even after her death, Diana's legacy lives on. Her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, continue her humanitarian work and often talk about how their mother's life and death affected them. Prince Harry has been especially vocal about how the royal family and the media treated Diana, showing that the struggle to protect her memory continues. Diana's story reminds us of the high price of fame and the complexities of royal life. Her life was a mix of public duties and personal struggles, showing both her strength and vulnerability. As we remember her, we see not just a princess, but a woman who tried to make a difference in a world that often ignored her pain. Her story is a poignant reminder of the human cost of fame and the complex dynamics within one of the world's most watched families. Her life was a blend of extraordinary public engagements and deeply personal battles, a testament to her strength and vulnerability. As we reflect on her life, we see not just a princess, but a woman who strived to make a difference in a world that often seemed indifferent to her pain. Diana, often called Duchess by her family because of her graceful nature, was born on August 30th, 1961, and baptized at St. Mary Magdalene Church in Sandringham. She was the third child and fourth born in her family, but her arrival was somewhat overshadowed. Her parents were hoping for a boy to continue the family name, which put a lot of pressure on their marriage. This desire for a son led to many problems between her parents. Her mother, Frances Shan Kidd, even went to doctors in London to find out why she couldn't have a boy. Diana's younger brother, Charles, later said these efforts were very embarrassing and upsetting for their parents, possibly leading to their eventual divorce. Diana's early life was full of changes and challenges. When Diana was just 7, her parents' marriage fell apart, resulting in a highly publicized divorce. Her mother remarried Peter Shand Kidd in 1969. Initially, Diana lived with her mother in London after the separation in 1967. But during a family visit to her father's house for Christmas, her father decided she wouldn't go back to London with her mother. This led to a tough custody battle, which her father won with the help of his mother-in-law, Lady Fermoy. There was more family drama when Diana's father married Rain, Countess Spencer. Diana and her stepmother had a difficult relationship, full of tension and conflict, including a shocking moment when Diana pushed her stepmother down the stairs. Looking back, Diana described her childhood as very unhappy and unstable. The family situation changed again when her father became Earl Spencer in 1975, leading to a move to the Althorpe estate in Northamptonshire. Diana's education began at home with her governess, Gertrude Allen, before she moved to Silfield Private School in King's Lynn, Norfolk. These early years were full of changes, new family members, moving homes, and the ups and downs of her family life. When she was 9, she went to Riddlesworth Hall School, an all-girls boarding school near Thetford. Later, in 1973, she joined her sisters at Westheath School. These years were not just about learning from books, but also about handling family pressures and big changes in her life, shaping who she would become. At Westheath Girls' School in Sevenoaks, Kent, Diana had a hard time with her studies. Many believed this was because of the emotional challenges she faced during her childhood, such as her parents' divorce and their remarriages. Despite these difficulties, Diana excelled in community service. She even received an award from her school for her dedication to helping others. Although she struggled in school, Diana was very active in life. She was known for her kindness and community involvement. By the time she was 16 and left Westheath, her brother Charles often described her as quiet but very caring. Diana was also very talented in music, playing the piano beautifully. This talent even inspired a Broadway musical about her life. She didn't just nanny. Diana also attended a finishing school in Switzerland for a short time before Easter in 1978. When she came back to London, she stayed at her mother's flat with school friends and took an advanced cooking course. Her work life was varied. She taught dance to young people until a skiing accident put her out of action for 3 months. After recovering, she worked as a preschool assistant, cleaned for her sister Sarah, and worked part-time as a hostess at parties. Diana also babysat for the Robertson family and worked as a nursery teacher's assistant at the Young England School in Pimlico. In July 1979, her mother bought her a flat at Kern Court for her 18th birthday. Diana lived there with 3 friends until February 1981. This time in her life was full of personal growth and preparation for a surprising future. Meeting Prince Charles was quite an unusual event for Diana. They first met in 1977, while Charles was dating her sister Sarah. No one could have predicted what was to come. Charles found her to be very cheerful, and after he and Sarah broke up in 1978, they stayed friends. Diana was invited to Charles's 30th birthday party at Buckingham Palace in November 1978, and they met again at a shooting party hosted by Queen Elizabeth II in January 1979. By the summer of 1980, their relationship had grown significantly, setting the stage for a royal marriage that would capture the world's attention, marked by the births of their sons and ongoing public interest and controversy. Diana met Prince Charles, starting a new chapter in her life. Prince Charles and Diana's relationship began in a rather unconventional way, with their first meeting at a house party in 1977. Charles, who was dating Diana's sister Sarah at the time, became intrigued by Diana's quiet charm and graceful presence. Despite their 13-year age gap, Charles found himself drawn to her. The couple's connection deepened when they crossed paths again at a polo match and during a more intimate get-together afterward, where Charles opened up about the recent loss of his great-uncle, Lord Mountbatten. Diana, with her gentle and understanding nature, offered comfort that seemed to ease Charles's pain, forging a bond that grew with each encounter. Diana, though still very young, made a lasting impression on Charles, leading him to invite her to spend a summer at Balmoral Castle with his friends. Diana eagerly accepted, and their relationship grew closer over time. In February 1981, their engagement was made official with a press call. Diana's enthusiastic response to the engagement question was met with Charles's more ambiguous answer, "Whatever in love means," which left the public wondering about the true depth of his feelings. Despite this, the royal wedding took place on July 29, 1981, at St. Paul's Cathedral, a historic moment that was watched by millions worldwide. The ceremony was a fairy tale spectacle, but behind the scenes, it became clear that the couple's union was more complex than it appeared. Charles, who had always been duty-bound to the royal family, found himself torn between the demands of his position and his own personal feelings. Although Diana's charm had captivated him, his heart was still deeply connected to his former lover, Camilla Parker Bowles. This unresolved attachment to Camilla would later emerge as a major issue in their marriage. Many speculated that Charles had chosen Diana not for love, but because she fit the image of the ideal royal wife. Young, noble, and capable of producing heirs to continue the royal lineage. Once Diana entered the royal spotlight, her life was under constant public scrutiny, and the glamour of royal life quickly faded under the weight of media attention. Her decision to leave out the word obey from her wedding vows became a bold act of defiance that shocked the public and marked her first step in challenging the constraints of her royal life. As time went on, the cracks in the marriage began to show. The pressures of royal duties, combined with a lack of emotional support from Charles, led to Diana feeling increasingly isolated. Her emotional struggles were compounded by bulimia, and during her first pregnancy, she reached a breaking point, even throwing herself down the stairs at Sandringham House in a moment of despair. Fortunately, the baby was unharmed, but this incident highlighted the depth of her distress. The birth of their first son, Prince William, in 1982, offered a brief moment of connection between Charles and Diana, with Charles being deeply moved by the birth. However, the relentless pressure of royal life and the constant media scrutiny, especially during Diana's postpartum period, added to her emotional burden. Diana's dedication to her role as a mother became evident when she decided to bring her infant son, William, on a royal tour to Australia and New Zealand in 1983, despite the challenges it presented. Her decision received mixed reactions, with some criticizing her for taking her child on such a public journey, while others admired her commitment to motherhood. The birth of their second son, Prince Harry, in 1984 should have been another joyful milestone, but Charles's evident disappointment that Harry was not the girl he had hoped for added further strain to their already fragile relationship. Diana had kept the baby's gender a secret, and the brief sense of closeness it brought her and Charles during the pregnancy was overshadowed by Charles's reaction to Harry's gender and his red hair. This disappointment, combined with Charles's ongoing emotional attachment to Camilla, left Diana feeling betrayed and angry. As the marriage continued to unravel, Diana's bitterness grew, and she began her own quiet quest for revenge. This led to Prince William later revealing royal secrets, which caused a media frenzy. The biography Endgame by Omid Scobie contained shocking revelations about Charles's marriage to Diana, suggesting that William might have been the source of these leaks. These revelations confirmed long-held suspicions about the royal family's role in Princess Diana's tragic death, shedding light on parts of her life that had been overlooked. Many rumors surrounding Diana's death had circulated for years, including the theory that the car accident was not just an accident, but possibly orchestrated by the royal family. Diana herself had believed that her life was in danger and that Charles and the royal family were plotting against her, especially after learning of Charles's planned gift to Camilla just days before their wedding. Diana's unhappiness in her marriage was compounded by her knowledge of Charles's ongoing affair with Camilla. Despite the public image of the perfect royal couple, both Charles and Diana found comfort in others. Charles and Camilla's affair reignited in the late 1980s, and in a 1994 interview with biographer Jonathan Dimbleby, Charles publicly admitted to his infidelity, acknowledging that Camilla had been the third person in his marriage. This admission was deeply upsetting to Diana and the royal family, especially Prince Harry, who bitterly remembered this period of his parents' marriage. By 1992, the royal family officially announced the couple's separation, though they vowed to continue raising their children together. The public spectacle of their separation only intensified when, in 1995, Diana gave her own candid interview with Martin Bashir on the BBC's Panorama. In this interview, Diana openly discussed her unhappiness in her marriage, describing it as a relationship with three people: herself, Charles, and Camilla. This interview became one of the most memorable moments in her life, as Diana's vulnerability and honesty resonated with millions. The world watched as the once royal fairy tale continued to fall apart, and Diana began a new chapter of her life. In the years following her separation, Diana found solace in a new relationship with British-Pakistani heart surgeon Hasnack Khan. This relationship, though private, brought Diana a sense of peace and joy during a tumultuous time in her life. Though Diana's marriage to Charles ended in heartache and public scandal, her legacy as the people's princess endured. Her compassion, activism, and strength in the face of personal struggles continue to inspire millions around the world. After Princess Diana's divorce from Prince Charles, their relationship remained relatively amicable, although it was marked by a period of separation. Their relationship, initially kept secret, became public in 1996, adding even more drama to the royal story. Although they were close, the two could never quite decide on marriage and ultimately parted ways in 1997. Their divorce was officially finalized on August 28, 1996, after Queen Elizabeth II encouraged them to bring an end to their marriage. Despite this, Diana continued her life with dedication to various charitable causes. She remained committed to her charity work, with her last public appearance at the English National Ballet, showing that she was determined to help others even during tough personal times. Many believe that Diana's divorce marked the end of a tumultuous chapter in her life, but she saw it differently. It was the beginning of a new phase. While she received a significant financial settlement from the divorce, she lost her royal title. Despite the past struggles between her and Charles, the two seemed to get along better in the years following the divorce, with Charles even visiting her on her 35th birthday. However, tragedy struck on August 31st, 1997, when Diana died in a tragic car crash in Paris. Following her death, Prince Charles and Diana's sisters quickly traveled to Paris to bring her body back to England. The nation mourned, and Diana was given a royal funeral, though controversy arose when Charles chose to wear a navy suit instead of the traditional black mourning attire. Diana's death left her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, without their mother, forcing them to navigate their grief under the scrutiny of the public eye. Prince Philip played a key role in supporting the young princes, encouraging them to walk in the funeral procession and offering guidance through the difficult time. Over the years, both William and Harry have spoken out about feeling betrayed by their father, choosing to stay loyal to the memory of their mother as they each carve out their own paths within the royal family. Their relationship grew strained, especially after Harry married Meghan Markle and decided to step back from royal duties. Despite their differences, they share the painful memory of their mother's funeral. On September 7, 1997, just days after her death, the young princes, then 15 and 12, walked solemnly behind Diana's coffin from Kensington Palace to Westminster Abbey, deeply affected by the grief and resentment they felt towards their father for the pain he had caused their mother. Despite all the pain and turmoil in her life, Princess Diana left behind a powerful legacy of strength and kindness. She battled bulimia and sought help, facing her issues head-on, and even confronted Camilla Parker Bowles about her relationship with Charles, displaying immense courage. Above all, Diana was devoted to her connection with the public. She listened to people's stories and used her position to make a difference, earning her the beloved title of People's Princess. Her work with various charities, especially her efforts with HIV/AIDS patients, helped change the way the world viewed the disease. Diana's willingness to publicly shake hands and hug those suffering from HIV/AIDS broke down widespread fear and misunderstanding, sending a powerful message that changed attitudes around the disease. Meanwhile, the royal family has faced its share of scandals over the years. Prince William, particularly, has spoken openly about the challenges his family faced, especially those surrounding his mother. He broke with royal tradition by discussing personal matters, sparking conversations and debates about his mother's legacy and the ongoing issues within the royal family. His actions have led many to question the future of the monarchy and to reflect on the profound impact Diana had on both her family and the world. What are your thoughts on Prince William's actions and the lasting impact of Princess Diana's legacy? Share your opinions below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.